welcome to the Cedar Valley Today special, Wartburg Decides 2016. I'm your host, Alyssa Kozak. Last night, the student body president and vice president candidates at Wartburg College were involved in a debate where students learned about what the candidates each had in mind for their running year. Today, we are going to dig deeper. Tyler Vogel, Hannah Creed, Alex Gheysens, and Hannah Haage will be joining me in discussing hard-hitting questions. So let's get started. Hannah Haage and Alex Gheysens are up first. So last night, you said your main goal was to promote Senate, and you suggested holding a workshop. How do you think a workshop will help students learn about Senate, and why do you think people will attend?
Yeah, of course. So when we're thinking about hosting these workshops, we're thinking of getting the name of Senate out there to students. So making sure students know what Senate has to offer them. Obviously, we have a part of the student population that knows that we have allocations, we have other funding that students can use to go to conferences and to do things with their different organizations on campus. But by hosting these different workshops, we hope that students would come to those so that they can learn more. I know a lot of students at the beginning of the year don't even know what Senate is. I know my first year, I didn't understand what Senate was, and so just being able to host those, much like just another learning experience for our students to understand what our organization does.
Okay, and Alex, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we'd probably host them during chapel time on Thursday, which is when we usually have Senate meetings, and so there should be no other conflicts for students. And then we would make it fun by having music going on, some snacks and drinks, and make it a fun event for students to attend.
So you think people are actually going to come to these workshops? Because a lot of people don't attend the different activities that are going on campus, but what makes you think these workshops are going to be different?
I definitely think that just has to do with the fact that everything spreads by word of mouth here the best. So if you have friends that are in Senate, hopefully you can invite other people to come and to attend that. And there's all different things that students can be involved in, but we want to promote Senate as something that is a resource for them. So I think convincing students that we can benefit them during their time here will really help them to get to attend those.
Okay.
And to add to that, I also think that every floor has their own senator, and if you get a personal invitation from your senator, it's different from seeing it on a poster or seeing it in the juice, so that personal connection will really help attendance too.
But as you said last night, a lot of people don't look at the Senate emails that they get from their senator. So I just don't understand how people will come if they, like you guys said last night, just delete the email.
Yeah, and like we talked about last night as well, email needs to not be our main form of communication. So like the relationship that RAs have with the residents on their floor, we want to create that type of relationship between our senators and our constituents. So going door to door, attending events, getting to know them as individuals, because that's what Wartburg is all about, is getting people individual attention and making them have a good experience here. And so as senators, we're leaders on campus, and that's something that's important for us to do.
Okay, so how will you set an example as a leader for the student body?
Definitely. Alex?
Just getting the work done that needs to be done, and then if there are issues, identify them and address them with the appropriate people, and then always let the students know what's going on. Even if you're not really sure what the outcome is going to be yet, just keep them informed that we're working on things and what steps we are taking to do that.
And last night, Alex mentioned a little bit about servant leadership and serving and leading by example. And I think that's one thing that's really important to us is obviously we're going to have our exec team and being able to delegate responsibilities and hold people accountable for the things that they need to get done so we can have a productive and efficient exec team, which will hopefully rub off on Senate as a whole and will help make differences in the student body.
Okay. Well, Hannah, you stressed that your position in admissions you currently hold will help you serve as vice president, but do you think this will also have a biased effect in your position?
Biased in what way?
As saying if you want to get more students here, or if you think that if you change one item at the college, that just because you work on admissions and you know that will get the students to come, do you think that will change?
Not necessarily, and if it was biased, I think it would be biased in the better way. I mean, obviously I have a passion for admissions. It's something I love doing, being an ambassador and getting to show students what makes Wartburg worth it. But in the long run, I'm currently a student here. So the things that I'm doing are things to make the school better for me and my friends and the other students that are going here. And hopefully the changes that we're making are all positive changes. So they'll make a difference now and they'll make a difference in the future for recruitment of other students.
Okay. And enrollment was a hot topic last night. Do you see Wartburg Student Senate having a responsibility to help raise enrollment rates?
Well, something that Alex and I had actually talked about was hosting Senate Visit Day. We talked to Dean Kittle about this a little bit because, like we said earlier, Senate is a leadership position on campus, just like being on orientation staff, an ambassador, working in different offices, any of that sort of thing. Wartburg is about leadership, and we thought it would be really interesting to host, much like a fall visit day or a journalism communication arts visit day, but to hold a Senate-related one because there's a lot of students that are involved in student government in high school, but they don't necessarily know what that transition is going to be like into college, or they don't even know that that's possible. Like I said, I wasn't involved in government in high school, and that's something that I've had the opportunity to do here. So hosting those days to help increase awareness and get students involved in something else so that Senate can be something that Wartburg prides itself in and something that can bring students here.
Okay. Do you have anything to add, Alex?
And on those visit days, we could have high school students have lunch with the senator, come to a meeting, learn more about the college in general, and what Senate does for our campus.
Okay. What does Senate exactly do for our campus?
Alex, do you want to touch on that one first?
Yep. So a great deal of your tuition goes to a Senate budget, and Senate then allocates that money to different organizations and clubs on campus. And then those organizations have to claim that money and then use it for their to work their organization. And then we also have more money to fund conferences. If students want to go to a conference anywhere, they can apply for funding for that, and then they can go as a group or by themselves. And then Senate also does campus improvement projects, so the water fountains, the outdoor seating, that's all done by Senate. And we ask for students' feedback to see what they want to see on campus, and so what we do is mostly for the students.
And like you said a little bit more, obviously, ultimately, Student Senate is about the students. So increasing awareness and making sure students know that Senate is a way for them to voice their concerns here on campus. Lots of times, students don't feel like they have an outlet, and we want them to know that that's what Senate is for so that we can raise those issues and we can deal with those problems here on campus.
Okay. Now, everyone's connections is being stressed last night. What is your involvement with the minority organizations such as the Black Student Union, International Club, and Asian Student Association?
Alex?
Well, we're not necessarily involved in those clubs. I think a lot of our friends are in those clubs, and so we do get that connection that way. And, you know, being an international student, I have a lot of international friends, and I hear a lot of the issues that go on. And so having that connection will really help us in this role, because even though we're not officially part of the clubs, we still have those friendships and connections that we already have.
And going off of that, obviously, like Alex said, he's an international student, and I'm not. I'm from Minnesota. But I think we do pride ourselves in being people that are open to talking with others. And if there are issues in different student organizations, I don't think that our race or nationality, any of that sort of thing, should separate us from being able to work with other people here on campus.
All right. And lastly, if you do not win this election, how do you see yourselves continuing to serve the Wartburg student body?
Definitely, Alex.
I want to continue on Senate. It's something that I've done since my freshman year, something that I've loved, and it's really part of my Wartburg experience. And so if we do not get elected, I still want to find other leadership roles on Student Senate. And then after elections, a lot of other applications come out, and so if we do not get elected, I do really want to look for other leadership positions on campus and continue growing and helping the college grow with my leadership skills.
Yeah, and as well for me, I mean, I will hope to continue on Senate this coming year as well, even if we're not elected. And like I said earlier, leadership is one of the big things here on campus. So if I'm not a leader by being a vice president of the student body, I'll be leaders in other ways here on campus for my senior year.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me today.